Development in any field needs some policies and regulations for timely implementation in achieving its set targets. Educational policies consist of principles and government interventions, including the opinions of experts in the educational system. Educational policies have a landmark history since ancient times. Ancient education was based on the principles of the Rig Veda, and during medieval times, policies were made regarding the spreading of Islamic thoughts and beliefs. During the colonial rule, the British introduced educational policies as a mission to educate Indians. They introduced dispatches to spread Western education in India. After independence, the first attempt was made for an educational policy in 1968. In 1986, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi introduced and implemented the policy by experts. This policy was revised in the year 1992, with the aim to provide education to all sections of society, with a special focus on SC and ST and other backward classes who had been deprived of educational opportunities for centuries. With the need of the time, the Union Cabinet approved a new education policy in 2020, aiming to introduce changes in the educational system. Deliberations and suggestions were made under the Kasturi Ranjan Committee. The main focus of the new education policy is to make India an educational hub at the international level and to prepare youth for new challenges in a developing world. As Nelson Mandela has said, education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. There are several dimensions to the new education policy 2020, like universalization in school education, changes made in the medium of instruction, and higher educational systems. Universalization of education from preschool to secondary level ensures the right to give children compulsory education from 6 years to the age of 14 years. In respect of the new education policy, this provision has been extended to cover children between ages 3 to 18 years. Computer skills will be introduced to teach coding from class 6 onwards. Vocational education will also start with internship provisions made for additional meals to achieve nutritional levels and better growth of children. For checking the progress of students, regular exams will only be conducted in grades 3, 5, and 8 respectively. The board exams of standard 10th and 12th will be made easier to test core knowledge rather than memory-based or factual learning, with all students allowed to take the exam twice in each subject. Content will be reduced to make space for critical thinking, inquiry-based, discovery-based, discussion-based, and analytical learning. Teachers will be trained for the new education policy as per the training and framework designed by NCTE, National Council for Teacher Education, in consultation with NCERT. The new education policy includes changes with respect to the medium of instruction. 3 languages learned by children will be the choice of the state, where 2 languages should be native to India. In higher education, a target has been set to raise the gross enrollment ratio to 50% by 2035. At present, the enrollment ratio is 26.3%. Flexibility has been made for multiple entries and exits in diploma and degree courses. Common entrance tests will be held by a national testing agency, with the exam being optional and not mandatory. Multidisciplinary education and research universities will be set up for the best education and achieving global standards in the country. A national research foundation will be created as an apex body for fostering strong research and building research capacity across higher education. The new education policy in India will set up a single umbrella body for the entire higher education system, including medical and legal education. Stage-wise regulatory mechanisms will be established for granting graded autonomy to colleges, including technological institutions. An autonomous body will be set up to provide a platform for the free exchange of ideas on the use of technology to enhance learning, assessment, planning, and administration. The All India Council for Technical Education has set up the PARAK, Performance Assessment Review, and Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development in Technical Progress. Thus, the new education policy in India paves the way for foreign universities to set up campuses in India. All these policies included in the new education policy address all stages of education, from primary schooling to professional levels, and give a model of 5+3+3+4 for school education. With a new holistic view of the new education policy, removing all structural inequalities will be possible only with the support from the state and center, with an increase in expenditure on education to 6% of the GDP. The universalization of education is a significant goal, aiming to ensure that every child, regardless of their background, has access to quality education. This initiative focuses on inclusivity, making sure that no child is left behind. By addressing barriers such as socioeconomic disparities and geographical challenges, the aim is to create a more equitable education system for all. The changes in the medium of instruction are designed to enhance understanding and retention among students. By incorporating regional languages alongside the national language, the policy aims to make learning more accessible and relatable. This approach not only respects cultural diversity, but also supports cognitive development, making education a more enriching experience for every student. In recent years, higher education in India has undergone significant reforms. These changes aim to make education more accessible, inclusive, and aligned with global standards. The focus has been on multidisciplinary learning, flexibility in course choices, and fostering critical thinking. Research and innovation are the cornerstones of progress. India has been investing heavily in creating a robust research ecosystem. From funding research projects to establishing centers of excellence, the goal is to drive innovation and make India a global leader in various fields. Technology is transforming education at an unprecedented pace. The integration of digital tools and platforms has made learning more interactive and accessible. From online courses to virtual labs, technology is breaking down barriers and creating new opportunities for students and educators alike. As we look to the future, it is clear that education will continue to evolve. The reforms and initiatives we see today are just the beginning. By embracing change and fostering a culture of continuous learning, we can ensure that education in India remains dynamic, inclusive, and forward-looking.